Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Anime Masters of the Apocalypse Anime Talks. I am your host, Mass, and with me is the lovely Anne. Say hello, Anne.
Hi. Hello.
Yes. And also with us is Vlad. Hello, Vlad.
Rhymes.
I haven't done the spoiler
Hello.
yet, dude. We haven't made a spoiler warning yet.
Oh,
Spoiler warning.
So yeah, before we say try to say anything about this series, huge spoiler warning to really the first episode. And yeah, the anime that we are going to talk about today is School Live. And you were the one who chose this anime, so you get to do a very brief summary of it.
Yeah. It's a cute little show about some schoolgirls and a dog, and that just happens to be zombies. Like the zombies aren't like a big part of it. It's just kind of there because all the schoolgirls they are ignoring the problem. So
I actually disagree with you on that summary, but
all the
okay.
schoolgirls,
Huh?
all the schoolgirls are ignoring it.
yeah, they are. They choose
Question
to
mark?
ignore it. They really do. One of
Only
them doesn't know what's going on,
yeah, and
and
the
the rest
others
just
aren't
follow along.
ignoring it. They're like doing a lot of stuff, like trying to take some of them out and try to like avoid them. And
Yeah, but they'll also have like a pool party,
yeah,
and
they're also
Yeah,
trying
okay,
to have
fair
fun.
enough. Fair
But
they go
enough.
shopping, and
yeah, and that's
yeah,
when they try to do their best and to avoid the zombies and also try to take
which
some of them
they
out.
do every single day.
Yeah. Well, we don't know how many days that goes by in the 12 episodes. But
That's
Mm.
true, but
hmm, yeah. Anyway, so your for you guys very quick impressions about the anime before we get into the meat grinder, so to say.
I like it. The first episode is the best one because it's the one that unravels all the rest of the setting for the story
Hmm. Yeah.
that we find out that well this isn't a normal slice of a life anime. This is a zombie apocalypse. Yeah, it's a zombie apocalypse anime. So yeah, it's cool.
Hmm. And
what?
your brief like your thoughts about the anime.
Yeah, I like it. I chose it for a reason. So
But you also chose Sword Art Online, so
I like it. Like I mean, it's bad, but it's so bad that it's good. You know,
is
it's
that
like
Sword Art Online you're
Birdemic.
referring to now?
Yeah,
Oh, okay, just
School
need to be
Okay.
School
clear.
Live is just really cute. Like it's such a cute show. Like really,
uh, yeah,
so adorable.
yeah, and I also really like it. I think it takes an idea and does a really interesting thing with it. And
Hmm.
yeah, let's go into the meat grinder, so to say. And yes, the first subject: subverting expectations. So what I would say is the selling point of this anime. It's very much it takes the whole like cute school slice of life anime and turns it on its head by actually making it a horror zombie anime. And it really hits you with a sledgehammer,
Hmm.
so to say, with seeing these characters who are like so fun loving and happy, and in every other anime they would have been um, yeah, they would have just lived a happy slice of life, maybe a bit of romantic side plot show, but it
Mm.
gets dark for them. Just look at the pictures here. None of these
Yeah.
characters get out of this in one piece.
Mm.
Mm.
Damn, the manga panels are really gruesome.
Yeah,
I
I'm
have
just
not
gonna, if you've only watched the anime, like, oh, the manga is even darker. I'm just saying.
God damn, Tarumaru, the dog,
Mm.
fucking savage.
Yeah, and it also has a really clever twist with its opening,
Mm.
where the opening gets progressively darker as it goes along, and it becomes like, as spoilers, some of the characters die in this. When they die, they get removed from the opening, and they different like school gets more and more destroyed, and it's just really cleverly made. And one thing that I found out about this is that when they um, like advertised for this anime, they advertised it as a slice of life, so they
Mm.
didn't show any of the like horror like scenes. So to a lot of
Oh,
people who like
that's
saw
cool.
it for the first time when it first came out, they were not expecting the horrorness.
That,
That's pretty smart though. Like, I
Actually,
like that they
they
did that.
it sounds smart, but apparently because of that, it ended up not getting very high sales, from what I can understand.
Oh,
yeah,
Yeah,
because everyone who watched it was expecting a slice of life anime, and everyone who wanted horror didn't go to see it on release day. So
yeah,
yeah, it's a cool way of
breaking people.
yeah, of selling, trying to sell your anime, but I again, as you said, in business terms,
yeah.
it
So like,
doesn't work.
but when it comes to like arts, then I think that it's a good way to do it. But in terms of just making money, then it's not a good idea. And apparently, this anime actually did better, like in the when it first came out in the West, than in Japan because of this. So,
Mm.
and I think from what I can understand, the manga actually does something similar with the magazine that it was in. That it's the only horror manga in that magazine. Every other manga story is a slice of life. So,
Hmm.
so yeah, I guess they were trying to do something similar that the manga did. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anyone of you guys
Yeah,
want to comment on something?
Nope.
no, it's just a cool way of setting up
It
a
is.
series.
Mm.
It
And I think it might actually help in some of the darker aspects of the series as well, but I think we'll get into that a little later. Um, one thing I will say that I don't know if it was done if this was done intentionally, but if we only look at the slice of life bits from this anime, I would say that it's a pretty mediocre anime, honestly. Like, you take away all the horror and we only took a look at the comedy and slice of life, then I probably wouldn't have watched it, honestly. Like, I've seen some good slice of life, and this one just wouldn't have hold up to them. But again, that might
yeah,
have been done intentionally because because this is horror.
Mm.
it's pretty hard to compare it because we it probably would have a again, of course, it would have have a another plot if that it wasn't a horror show, but
Hmm.
again, what what would it build on based on the characters? It's mm, yeah, it wouldn't have been that interesting.
Hmm. Probably not. But yeah, but we don't know. I don't know if the author has made regular slice of life mangas before. I'll have to find that out later. But
Neither do
what?
I don't either know it.
But yeah, should we move on?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, character analysis.
Hey.
This was yours,
Cool.
Vlad.
Yeah. Well, let's look at some characters.
Should we just
Should we
go at
start?
them one at a time?
Yeah, from left to right.
I want to talk with my
Uh,
Christian teacher.
Megumi Sakura
Yes, called Miku-chan,
was
right? By the characters.
Oh,
I don't
Or
remember,
what is it,
but
Megumin? I think it was Megumin. Might have
yeah, I
been.
think.
maybe.
They had some sort of nickname for her.
But yeah,
Uh,
Yeah,
she
anyway,
looks as old as
the
any of
rest.
them. She looks as old as the rest. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, but
But
wasn't she like a new teacher or something?
Yeah, I think she's a very young new teacher. Like,
Yeah,
she hasn't been teaching for very long, only like
I think
1 year or
the
something.
oh,
other teachers told her like don't be friends with the students,
Yeah,
just
yeah,
do
they
your
were like
job.
trying to tell her how to do her job, and she was like being overly friendly with the students.
Yeah, so I think she is young, like
Hmm.
early 20s or something.
hmm,
Yeah.
well, she's yeah, well, she's in character as how she's behaving. She's cool. I think.
Yeah, I want to talk about
It,
like
Okay.
she's actually. If we ignore how she is when she's like a phantom,
hmm,
like if
yeah.
we only take the scenes where we see her, only her, then I think that she's a pretty. I think she's a pretty cool character in that she actually tries to take charge and actually tries to make the best of a really really bad situation.
Yeah.
Like she actually comes up with an environment where, at least for a little while, these kids could survive.
Hmm.
Mm. And I enjoyed seeing
Uh,
her like trying to uh, like do her teacher work, where both the other
hmm,
teachers admonishing her and she just trying her best.
hmm.
And then we see the really scary moment when her mom is trying to call her and then it gets cut off, and we know, oh damn, stuff is happening.
Hmm.
Mm.
Yeah. She's a good teacher, and she did her best in a very bad situation, as you said.
Mm.
Is
And I will say the moment when we see her as a zombie, like the first time, that's a really well done
yeah,
job. Where she's
yeah.
just like waiting for them in the basement.
Mm.
Yeah,
Hmm.
she's in a way the final, like the first boss in a way. Like they have to get through her in order to like finish
I,
the school
I mean, she
level.
was by the dog, so yeah.
Yeah.
Final boss by the fucking dog.
I actually didn't understand that she was dead until I think until you told me, Mass.
You didn't realize that she was like a
I
phantom.
didn't realize because I have it was the dialogue was so smoothly written
Mm.
that I didn't notice that they never res- talked to her. That the other characters, other than Yuki, never talked directly to her or answered her.
Yeah, I
It,
will say they could have done that a little bit better, like Mr. Robot. Spoiler alert. Mr. Robot, there's one character that where people kind of don't talk to the character, and it's like
but
a big thing, but they do it way more smooth than in this show.
I really
Like
believe I
here,
really
it just seems like she really is there. Like people don't
really. Uh,
ignore her every once in a while, you know? Like that just needed to be a few more hints
I
to
actually
that
think
she's not
it
there.
it is as good as Mr. Robot.
Really?
But then again, I'm the one who didn't realize until I was told. So
Yeah.
Well, I don't
Okay.
think you're supposed to realize it in the first episode. It's supposed, you're like supposed to realize it later and then go, oh,
yeah,
yeah.
But did you realize with Mr. Robot?
no, no, I didn't.
Have you watched the whole thing?
Uh, nah, I got.
Please
We
finish
can
watching it.
we can
Oh my god.
we can talk about that later. I
Yes,
do
but I
not.
mean it. Watch the whole show. Like
Yeah,
that's a
right, right.
huge
Fine,
plot
fine.
twist.
Good, 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 and good. Okay, let's take the next character. Yuri.
Yes, and
Agata.
I would say that she's the mommy of the team,
Mm.
basically.
She's like the mom friend.
Yeah, like she's
Yeah.
the one trying to keep everyone like coordinated and
Yeah, and cooking for
yeah,
everyone.
and she's also the one tending to the gardens and their
Yeah,
clothes as well, right?
and she's like in charge of everyone, like telling, okay, we're gonna do that now. We're gonna
Yeah,
do this
yeah.
now.
Like isn't she like she's even in the picture here? I think she's holding like something we can cross off.
Yeah.
Like oh, we managed to do that now, and then
Mm,
yeah,
Mm.
a task list.
yeah.
Yeah, she's cool.
Hmm.
I really like when a series has one of those characters in there because it's always a reference point to the viewer. Um, it's it doesn't make it tedious if someone tells the other characters what they need to do because we have a character that has that role to keep the other characters in line and make sure that the stuff that needs to be done gets done. It yeah,
Hmm.
I like her
Yeah,
again.
and yeah.
Yeah, the design again. I can the only design that's really interesting for me is Yuki because we just today we two you and me Mads we talked about her character design.
Hmm.
Um, but the other characters, their design not very interesting. I really the interesting parts of these characters are really their personality and how they fit in the group.
Yeah, I will say though with Yuri's character design, there is one thing that she's big sister. Like she has a younger sister, and
Mm,
that's part of her like why she's so caring about these the other girls. So it's
mm.
like in her caring personality. They did try to sort of give her like a big sister character design.
Like what?
Could you elaborate on that?
Yeah,
Big tits.
like her.
What
She
is a
has
big
yes,
yeah?
she's got the biggest breast. For example, that's how you do it in anime with big sisters characters. And
So everyone who doesn't have big breasts can be a big sister.
not in anime.
Not in real
Not
life.
And also, I think this picture here isn't scaling them very well, but I think she might actually be the tallest of them.
I think so too. Yeah.
Yeah. See, this picture it actually wasn't this big; it was actually smaller. But I had to fill the whole
you
screen,
had
so I
to
had to.
scale it up.
Yeah. So that's why it
Yeah,
looks a little
they
weird.
looked a little bit. They looked a little bit crunched down too.
Yeah, it was the
Fine.
best picture, but I just couldn't find a good version of it.
Okay, fine.
So yeah, but that's really the only thing that I have of her character design. It's like they give it a big sister vibe.
Mm.
There's one thing I want to uh, point out. Actually, there's probably one thing about them all. Again, uh, what Megumi she has this cross.
Hmm.
I I really can't point out why that is interesting, but it
It catches the eye.
mm, yeah, but isn't there something interesting that she becomes a ghost of a spirit of some sort afterwards? That again, she has this cross and she passes on to become some kind of a spiritual guardian afterwards. Again,
The only thing I can come up with there, now that you brought it up, is that in Japanese like mythology and tradition, then once you become a ghost, you don't have any legs. But if she's a Christian, she would believe in like Western ideas of ghosts, I guess, and they do have legs.
mm,
And when we
yeah,
see her
it,
as
it's
her,
just something.
yeah,
It's
that's
just
the only thing I
something
come up with.
I just realized that she becomes this guardian, almost guardian angel kind of deal, and yeah, she's very again based on what her role in the plot is. She's there's hints of spirituality in that. It's a long shot, but it's a bit. If you look very very closely, that could be some themes in that. But again, now I'm
Well,
just
there could also be
holding me.
some themes in that Yuri has green eyes and she's a gardener.
Ah, oh yeah. I I actually didn't realize that. The thing I wanted to say about Yuri is that she has this very cozy sweater. Yeah, cozy sweater on. Again,
Yeah,
something that envelops you, and you can
like the
yeah,
whole
you can,
comforting thing.
yeah, a confident thing, like
Mm,
a older sister, older brother, again a family member.
mm,
That was the thing I wanted to point out. But yeah, green eyes and green fingers. Yeah, that would be that would definitely be a theme there too.
mm.
Damn,
Oh,
I want to take Yuki Lee at last, because she's definitely the most
the most
interesting.
interesting one. Fair enough.
You have to save some of Yugi for later for another theme
Oh,
subject.
okay, okay,
Like
fair
all the
enough.
mental stuff is for another part.
okay,
Okay, yeah,
okay,
psychology in the series is a later subject.
Yeah.
okay. Great.
Okay, I have one last closing thing for Yuri.
Hmm.
Is that she's the one with, I would say, the least interesting like character in the anime, and that's because her character arc actually comes later. That
Mm.
it's not animated. So if they ever
Okay.
made a season two, her character arc would start there.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm not. If they ever make a season two, I'm not gonna spoil what that is. I'm just, but yeah. Should we talk about the dog,
Yes. I love the dark. Oh my god.
Toromaru?
Do we get the dog's backstory in the manga?
Well, the dog is actually only in one chapter in the manga.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, they just
Oh my
found the
god.
dog, and then it like in the same chapter it got bitten or I can something like that, and then they had to, yeah, take it down.
Oh.
That's one thing I really love about this dark is that it's so clearly voiced by a human being. Like it's so bad.
Yeah. It's like Pokemon. You have this animal being, but it's a human.
Yeah, that's like a grown lady making these noises in a
Yeah.
studio. Like you can
It's,
just hear it. Like, oh my
it's
god.
Should we put Toromaru as a magical companion?
What?
of course.
All right. Fair enough. He's
But
getting the
his
magical
power
companion
level
sticker.
is very low. He has a very low power level.
Hmm. But he's
Uh,
cute.
he's cute, yeah. He has magical cuteness.
He's
Okay.
Jigglypuff. He's cute.
It's like when you're playing Pokemon and you just instead of using all the ugly but really powerful Pokemon, you just choose the cutest little ones
Hmm.
that you can't use for shit.
Go on my level
You,
one
That
Eevee
kind of
all the way.
Pokemon.
Pokemon are
Yeah.
you calling ugly, man?
What?
What Pokemon are you calling ugly?
Almost all of them. Like I only like the ones that look like
What?
dogs or cats. Those are the ones
Aren't
that
you
look good.
in
Wow.
All
love
the
with
others, they can
saying
just
that's the
fucking
cutest big
joke.
slime thing I have ever seen?
I don't care about winning in Pokemon. I only care about the cuteness. It's the same thing like real life. Like if I get a dog, I'm not gonna get like a muscle dog. The toughest and strongest
Oh
dog.
no,
No, I'm gonna get the cutest fucking thing I can
you
find. You know
fine.
Well, I would have just gone for a cat, but yeah.
what?
Okay, good.
They
Can
fell
we
for a
talk about
hat.
Kurumi, the girl with the shovel?
Um, should we go? Yeah.
Yeah,
Kurumi
yeah.
Ibisusawa. Yeah, she's
This
the. I
blonde
like her.
girl.
She's action girl,
She's so
basically.
cool.
Hmm.
Yeah, she is.
Like she's the one when shit needs to get done, she gets shit done.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it's
And
cool.
she is not afraid to put herself as like the bait in order
Mm.
to take out some
Doesn't just
zombies.
I really love in like zombie shows, like any kind of zombie show or zombie movie. I really like when they use weapons that are not actual good weapons, like a fucking shovel. Like
Don't
I really
underestimate
love that.
What are you
shovels.
talking about? The shovel is
It
Yeah,
is
it's like
the one
nothing
weapon that
fear of
killed
it.
most people under World War One.
Yeah,
come on.
Don't underestimate the shovel.
shovel fucking powerful.
Hmm.
Yeah,
I
but
would
it's not
use
the
a
first thing
shovel.
you will think of. You'll think like a gun, a baseball bat,
Well,
something like
you
How
wouldn't find
would
a
she find a
gun
gun
in
honestly
Japanese
in the
middle
Japanese
school
school?
I
or is
don't
it
know
high
their
school? I don't
rules,
know.
okay? I don't know if they have guns.
They
Like I don't
don't.
fucking live there.
Okay, okay, they don't.
That's
They
fine.
don't have guns.
But like they could use a
Okay.
baseball bat or a big knife or something, you know?
Hmm.
Not a shovel. Like it's a tool, it's not a weapon. You know what I
I
mean?
would
Like,
say it's both,
and that's
but
why I like it even more. Like I like it because she's using a tool instead of a weapon. Like I think that's like a cool trope. Like
hmm.
it's kind of
Hmm.
neat.
I mean that's fair. I really like that she uses the shovel as well, and she uses the shovel a lot and for a lot of
Mm.
stuff. Like they're very creative with what she can do with it. Hmm.
I like the scenes where she's sitting and just cleaning her shovel. Like she really
Yeah,
cared about this
and it's
tool.
almost like a samurai, like cleaning his
Yeah, it's
sword.
almost like
Yeah,
a samurai
Yeah,
sword. It's
like
cool.
she has so much respect for this
yeah, and it's
piece
the
of.
same shovel throughout the entire series. Uh,
And she's carrying it even when she's like
like
doing
sleeping or
things for
something.
fun. You
Yeah.
know, like I think there's a scene where she's just running for fun, and
Mm.
she's even carrying the fucking shovel on her back. Like she doesn't need to do it, but she just wants to
Well, I
bring
think she
the
says
fun.
that it's like a handicap, and I think she still wins the race. They have like a race or something. But yeah, she's the athletic one of them. She's in the track club,
Mm, yeah.
I think, and she's the one who had a sweetheart senpai
Mm,
who died.
yeah.
Yeah,
Ugly.
and we don't even know the guy's name. He's just senpai.
No one cares.
Well, he gives a dramatic backstory to one of the good characters. That's all he's good for, and I'm fine with that. We didn't need
Yeah.
more
Yeah.
of him for that.
Like this is a show only about girls. Like you don't need the guys in this show. It's just about girls, and that's okay.
Well, the second season we see some guys again, but
Oh.
well, they're
And what are
villains.
you talking
So
about? Todomaru, that's a boy.
Like, do we know that for sure? Like, it could be a girl. Like, it's just a dog. We don't know the
I
gender.
don't remember if they actually specify a gender for the dog.
Mm.
He looks like a good boy.
Yeah, and here's the
Does
thing: even if they call Tarumaru for a boy in the either the dub or the sub, that could also be just a translation thing
Yeah,
because
it
Yeah.
it's
could.
not always that it when it translates to English that it translates that well, and then to make it easier for our puny brains, they put a gender in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they could have said something like, "Oh, good boy," just to make it sound more like natural to
Mm.
us. Hmm.
Okay, we take Miki now. Oh, damn. My
I love
pronunciation
her.
doesn't work.
Oh my
Miki
god.
Naoki.
I love her so much. Like, okay, ever since I first watched the show, I was like, okay, that's character. She's gay as fuck. Like, she's so gay. I mean it. Like, okay, first she was in love with her friend that she was at the mall with, right?
Okay,
She was so in love with
yeah.
her friend. Like all about holding her hand and shit. And now she's in love with the brunette Yuki. Was that her name? She's so
Uh,
in love with that big sister character. Like I'm so
You.
sure of this.
you
For
mean
real.
Yuri, the big sister? That's Yuri.
Yeah, Yui.
Yeah, Yuki is the one with the mental problems.
Okay, my bad, my bad.
Yeah, it's fine. It's a similar
But
name.
I mean it like I'm so sure that she's gay. Like she has to be.
Well,
Mm,
if
I think
if the
she.
writing themes her around that, you could read into that. I didn't get it, but I like that we have. I like for the plot's sake that we get a character not that's not a part of this group that
Mm,
that
Mm.
creates some discourse
yeah, she's like the rebel.
because Yuki Yeah, she's like the rebel, and
Mm.
again, she creates a new dilemma that we need to. Again, Yuri and Kurumi needs to talk with her about Yuki and
Mm.
how she should act around her.
Yeah,
And
and she
again, she's
confronts
like,
them about the like really
yeah,
harshly, like saying, "Aren't you just
yeah,
like codependent or something?"
yeah.
Mm.
She's like she almost, again, you could look at it like that, but she's almost like a like us, like the viewer put in there and asking all the questions. If is this okay? Is this
This is
the right
normal.
thing to do? Should we just pull the band-aid
Yeah.
and
Mm.
crush poor Yuki's mind?
Yeah, and she has one of my absolute favorite scenes in the entire anime actually,
Is it the
where
one with the dog?
no, it's not the one with the dog. It's with her friend when they're trapped together for we don't know how long. It looks like days, could be months for all we know, and they just sit there with nothing to do,
Mm.
and yeah, it seems like they're slowly going insane, but they can't do anything, and then the friend just says, "I'm out. Like I have to do something. It doesn't matter if I die. I have to do
Mm.
something." And then Miki doesn't like go with her because she can't. She's scared, and then she regrets it, and yeah, I just think the pacing and how it's written, that entire scene is really good.
It is.
Mm. And then when we see then it's implied that we see her friend as a zombie later.
Mm.
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 And this is where I feel that less is more is really working. Like, we don't know what happened to her friend, but we can assume the worst. Like, we do assume the worst because of the hints.
Mm.
And at the same time, like, you get it. Like, this is such a serious situation. Like, you get both, like, Miki being scared of doing something, but you also understand Kay's, that's her friend's name, like, she needs to do something. She can't just live for the sake of living.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Mm.
Also, to what you said earlier, and actually, from what I can remember, there's a scene in the manga that wasn't in the anime where we see Kei and Miki being in a bigger group of survivors before,
Yeah.
where I can't remember if it was Kei or Miki. It was one of them where they fell in love with like the leader of the group, but then that entire group, like in the mall, died, and then they were the only two survivors.
I mean, she could be bi, you know.
She
I'm
could
just saying
easily be
she's
bi.
definitely in love with the girls. Like,
Yeah,
she
I
likes
just
girls.
really just
Just.
remember that. So, mm,
Yeah.
yeah,
About again, just to point back at the theming with Rebel, uh, with the Rebel character again, it ties it also ties very nicely into that she's a
you're younger
year
than
young.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
she's a second year, right, and the others are third years.
Mm.
I could be
So
wrong.
yeah,
It might
that
have
that
been just the
ties
live
nicely
action
into that
movie.
too. Oh yeah.
Yes, I think there's something with your mic. Like sometimes I can't hear what you're saying.
Oh, mine.
Not mess.
Mine?
Yeah.
Well,
I have
sometimes you guys are cutting out. I think it's Discord.
Yeah, it probably is.
ooh, I have no problems at all with either of you, so that's interesting.
Well,
All
but
right.
you also realize
Should we?
that her like her scarf is blue while the others are red.
Isn't it
Hmm.
about what year they're in? I
Yeah, but he
think.
also has blue eyes. So I don't know. It goes together.
Oh yeah.
We also didn't
Yeah.
talk about like one thing. We didn't talk about Kurumi and her like knee pads. Just the like knee pad protectors.
Yeah, that's true.
But then again, that it's about it's about again it ties nicely into that she's not afraid of
I mean, it ties into her being a sporty girl. I would say.
what?
like Kurumi. If I'm going back to her for a second
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
with her knee pads. It ties into
Yeah.
her being on the track and field club.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
I, did they have those on track? I
Well,
don't think they
probably
did.
not,
It might
but
just be because she's like, athletic and
yeah, and
cool
she's the one
and
who does the dangerous stuff. So
yeah.
Yeah. It's battle
It's
armor.
not like Yuki who has like pink socks. Like she's a bit cooler than that.
yeah, yeah. Okay, should we talk about Yuki?
Yeah. Let's pull the band-aid. There's a
Uh,
lot of theming, and I will keep it to the bare minimum so we
mm,
don't pull everything out of the next subject.
yeah, I will say
But
that she's the heart of the team. Like
yeah.
Mm.
she's the reason why they can keep going. Like why they're so optimistic. If not for
Mm,
her, the entire group would have collapsed.
yeah.
Will say though, she's the most annoying character. Like she really is.
Well, that's
But
why we
she's
have character
the reason
development.
why they're still sane, I guess. I think.
Yeah, but she's
Hmm.
just so
I
awful.
think they would all have gone 100% Walking Dead if she wasn't
Yeah, yeah.
there.
Remember, like when you said before, when we looked at Miki and Kai, when they were just those two alone, and they had nothing to do, and they were just sitting there in that room and living, just sitting there and living. But as soon as we go to this other group, like our main group, then we see that they're actually like active and they can't be happy even in this terrible moment that they're in.
Yeah, they
And that's
they
basically Yuki's well, that she's actively doing that.
she she helps them. She stimulates them to
Yeah.
actually get things done, and also just and also again make activities that doesn't have with just surviving to do, but also has to
And
do with what?
like normal everyday living.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, just to keep sane and
Yeah, and that's
Mm.
actually in a situation like this, something like that is actually important to do.
mm,
Like if you just focus on the zombies and surviving and what can we do to survive, then you will eventually break, like mentally.
you would you will you will probably not work in a bigger group of people again. You will not be able to integrate into a society again,
Yeah.
Mm.
which is again which is their ultimate goal is to be discovered and probably saved someday.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean they also show that on Walking Dead, where some of the character that's on their own and just survives, they have a
Yeah,
really hard time going back to society and being in a bigger group and doing
Yeah.
yeah, they
normal
can
things.
function in a group again
Yeah,
because again they lost all their social skills and yeah.
yeah.
So yeah,
Mm. And
but
also, she can also be actually very uh, like in a jam. Yuki can be pretty resourceful at times, actually.
hmm,
Like she can be pretty clever when she needs to be.
hmm,
And like I said before, with the character, like the whole thing with her mental illness is something that's really only there for the first part of the like the series.
hmm.
Like she gets a lot of character development and becomes a much more well, it becomes like a much bigger character. That becomes a lot more to her later on.
Mm.
Matthew actually said to me that it is kept vague if she's faking her
Her mental illness or not.
yeah her mental illness or if it's a way of surviving.
Yeah, it's
I think we should maybe wait
Yeah,
for that.
yeah.
let's
Okay, let's wait till we'll talk about her mental illness later when we
yeah.
actually get to the subject.
The last thing I want to talk about her visual design is the hat.
It's a good
It
hat.
it's a good hat. It's a cute hat, but again, it's also when she um when she goes back to being quote unquote normal. You said that she takes it off in that regard, it has almost a tinfoil hat kind of thing on. But the thing about this tinfoil hat that it keeps the reality out of her head.
Yeah, like I feel
Yes,
like I
I
see
mean
the
she has a,
symbolism in it, but
Yeah.
yeah,
yeah,
she grows up when she takes it off
yeah,
because she's very kid-like through the whole show.
mm,
And when she does take it off, when the dog is dying, like it's like she's leaving the past behind and she's growing up.
mm. Like, you can maybe say that that's part of the message of the show, growing up.
Yeah, I think so.
Mm,
I think it's a coming of age story in a
mm.
way.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think it's that for all the characters
Yeah,
because all of the
they have their
characters have
own
to like change,
development they
yeah,
need to
and
go through.
develop. Like I'd say the only character that doesn't really have a development in that
The
sense would
teacher.
be yeah, but that's because she dies so early
Yeah.
on.
Hmm.
I mean, dying isn't like when it comes to shows and movies, dying doesn't count as a change. Like not a character
It's not
kind
character
of change.
development. No, it's a
No,
character
it's not.
ending. It's a stop.
Yeah, so it doesn't count at
Hmm.
all.
It
Like
normally functions as a change for the rest of
Yeah,
the
it's like
characters.
how the other characters react to their death
mm,
Mm,
is the
yeah.
but
development they
that's
get from.
also it's very normal in shows that like the main character usually doesn't act, but they react. Like
Mm,
you,
yeah.
Harry Potter, he doesn't do shit. He just reacts to things, and it's very entertaining to see his reactions.
Mm.
But it's everyone around him that creates the story and pushes it through. You know?
Yeah, like well, just wants a normal school life, really. But
Yeah,
it's because
all he
stuff
wants
happens
to do
around
is
him
like,
that he reacts to that we get
yeah,
a dramatic plot.
Hmm.
really,
Voldemort would have survived if he hadn't gone after Harry.
yeah,
He chose just to move to Canada and then settle down. Nothing would have happened to him.
Yeah. Get
Yeah,
an army of mooks,
basically.
take over the world.
He should have bought a gun and shot Harry in the head.
and out of the window or something. Like it's so
Like a
easy. Like
sniper
there's so
rifle or
much time.
something.
Harry
Like, it should
Potter,
not have been that easy.
react to this motherfucker.
Like, live through this, boy.
The
Yeah.
boy who lived has come to be shot.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, maybe
okay.
maybe Voldemort just isn't a very clever villain, just when you think about
No.
it.
And all this again, a gun would be so fast you wouldn't be able to
Mm,
react.
Yeah,
All
like
spells are so slow you wouldn't be. If people if wizards just use guns, no one would could do anything because you can't react.
uh,
Oh god, we found a big plot hole in
okay,
all of
listen.
this. Where
Harry
are all
Potter
the
is one of
guns?
those stories where you read it and enjoy it. Don't
Yeah,
start to think
don't ask.
about it too much because then it kind of ruins the part of the fantasy.
Again, Voldemort wants to take over the Muggle world too. But what
Well, doesn't
about
he
the?
want to murder all the Muggles?
Yeah. What about the military?
Well, okay, that one's actually kind of easy because the Muggles don't know that the wizards exist, so
Uh,
they can do it
I'm
in
sure,
secret.
like I'm pretty sure, like the minister or something must have known.
Oh yeah, that's like the Minister of Magic contacts whoever's prime minister at the time.
Yeah,
So that we have like one Muggle who knows about what the heck he's supposed to do.
like
excuse me. What did we talk about again?
We were talking about magical girls and zombies, right?
Ah.
Yeah,
What?
okay, that's enough Harry Potter talk.
Okay. The last thing one wants to say about Yuki, she has a cute backpack too. There are wings on it.
Yeah, I think that's like you can. I think they sold that at like a promotional thing at one point, like the backpack.
Nice.
Yeah,
Okay, that's all I have
that's
to
the
say about.
characters,
Yep.
and yeah, that's really all the characters when you think about it. Unless you count
Yep.
Senpai.
we
And
don't.
all the zombies.
Yeah, all the
Every
zombies.
last zombie.
All right,
Yes.
psychology in the series. This is yours, Anne.
Yes, there's two big things about this. It's her age regression and
Mm.
how everyone else handles her psychosis. Because the way they're handling it is so terrible. Like you really shouldn't do that in real life.
Mm.
She's going through this psychosis where she thinks everything is normal, there's no zombies, the school is intact, everything is clean, everyone is happy. She's just going to school, and school life is a club where she just lives at school, eats at school, stays at school.
Mm-hmm.
So she doesn't know that things aren't normal. Like she goes to classes and just sits there and talks to what she thinks is other students and the teacher and stuff, and like she has no idea. And everyone around her just acts like it's okay, and acts like she's right, like her psychosis is right, like she really like her hallucinations and delusions is really happening, and it's enabling behavior, and it's like really terrible. Like you should never do this in real life,
Mm-hmm.
because she won't be able to come out of this psychosis, because she won't know what's real. Like if someone is hallucinating or having a delusion, just be honest, be patient, be kind, be honest. Don't if like say I'm having a hallucination when I'm next to you, and I'm like, oh, there's like a Pennywise from It, you know.
Mm.
Don't look at it. If I point say there's Pennywise, but you know I'm hallucinating, don't look at where I'm pointing, because then I will think like, oh, you're looking at it, you're seeing it too. It must be real. Then, like, all you
Uh,
have to do is just tell the truth. Like, say it's not there. It's not real. Don't worry. Like they needed to just tell her that. Like, she would have been so much better off if they had just told her the truth.
well, the thing is with that, I agree with you that if you were to encounter this in
Hmm.
real life, that's how you should go through it, or at the very least, like talk with an expert before you do anything. But
Mm.
this is a very, from the series point of view, this is a they're in a very unique situation,
Yeah, but they are
and
taking advantage of her. Like they're talking about how they are not telling her that it's not real
yeah,
because
and
it
that's
makes them happy. Like
they make it,
they're
yeah.
happy that she's like keeping them going.
Mm.
So they're taking advantage of the situation, and her mental health, which is so damaging.
Yeah, but to
I'm
be fair,
actually
they
not
might not know that.
like.
Like for all they know, they tell her, she might do something which could make her kill herself or something. Like if you were in real life and you were to tell someone about this, like they may react bad, but at least you could do something to probably help them. In this situation, they can't really do much to really help her in this situation. So
Talk to her.
In
They can
the
be there for her.
mess in
mm,
the anime before they got the club, were she depressed
no,
also there?
no, she
How
I
wasn't.
was
don't
she there?
think she's showing any negative symptoms. It's only the positive symptoms like psychosis, hallucinations, delusions, that
Mm.
kind of things.
The only thing
Yeah.
that they kind of hinted at in the, I don't know if they did also did in the anime, but at least in the manga they said that she's like she's they mentioned that she has a tendency to act immature.
Yeah, and that I
Like that's
think
even
that's
before
her
the zombie
age
attack.
regression.
So
I
yeah.
think she really is going through age regression, which is where you go back to a stage where you're younger from a time where you were happy. Like
Hmm.
she's much older than she acts.
Oh, and I
But she's
think,
in a tough situation, so her brain goes back to a time where things weren't bad.
hmm, and I think that might there might have been something with like it's mentioned that she's not a very good student, like academically.
Yeah, she like
So
sleeps
she
in class.
yeah, so she probably was already like struggling at school.
Mm,
So that might have been one of the reasons why she was already acting kind of like immature for her age to
yeah.
like try to get past like just daily life, and then this zombie thing happened and it just pushed her over the edge, I guess.
Mm.
Hmm.
Mess, I don't remember how was she before she got these hallucinations.
Again, we don't see
Was
much of
she?
it, but
I don't know.
generally, again, generally normal. Normal for an anime character.
I mean, she seemed happy.
Oh,
Yeah, she seemed happy, but
really?
again, immature but happy.
Yeah.
I think we see her at one
So
point
what in
helping
the
Megumi doing some chores.
okay,
Yeah.
I just I'm just asking myself if again right now they are in a situation where if she doesn't function again, if she, God forbid, becomes suicidal or can't think again, she doesn't think straight right now, but she does
Does
um
something that will be
she
dangerous.
maybe does something that can may that could put her or the others in danger. If this is not a lesser of two evil, if
Mm.
you understand.
Yeah, and I
Again,
think that's the entire dilemma, and
yeah,
and
again,
yeah.
if again in that regard, I would think this is the better. Again, if she becomes suicidal or she do, stops functioning,
The,
she puts them in danger or herself in danger. If they can keep this world up for her,
mm,
it's maybe in this situation that's the lesser of two evil again, and more of that. Again, they are all kids. They don't know how to handle
mm,
a a person with these problems.
yeah.
I
I
don't
mean, the
again.
one adult they had with them dies, like
Yeah, yeah,
very quickly.
yeah.
Mm.
Was the teacher alive when she began have these hallucinations?
Yeah, I think so.
I
Was
think
she?
yeah, I think they started out, but they weren't as severe, maybe.
Uh,
Yeah, I think what happened. I might be wrong here, but that Megumi began to see like how she were reacting, and then she decided that she needed to do like really save them, and that's when she went to the basement to try to actually see if she can find something that can like get them out of this situation because she could see that the things were getting worse
yeah.
because
Well,
she found out there were like things that they could use to combat the zombie thingy in the basement. And then when she died, it just became even worse for Yuki, and the others didn't know
yeah.
how to handle
Just
it.
spiraled.
Yeah.
Just spiraled downhill.
So yeah,
Uh,
it did start with the teacher, and when the teacher tried to do something about it, it ended up getting worse.
it it's such an interesting dilemma. Should you or should you not um, help Megumin realize the reality?
Yuki, you mean?
Oh yeah, yeah. Sorry, Yuki. The reality of
Mm.
that situation.
And of course,
And
that yeah,
maybe take the chance of her again going batshit. Again, she is batshit right now, but going more batshit.
yeah. But at least
Um,
even though that she's like at least she's at least somewhat functioning, I would say.
Yeah, like
again, she can help. Yeah,
she's not like forgetting to take care of herself or
Yeah,
anything.
and she's also like at least somewhat helping. It is a bit weird, but they somehow manages to have her interact and help against the zombies, even while she's imagining it that everything is all right.
Yeah.
So they actually do like try to make it work, even without
yeah,
telling her.
yeah.
Hmm.
She again, she contributes
The
to the
team, yeah,
task, yeah, to the
yeah, the
task
task.
that needs to be done
Mm.
throughout the day. So
Yeah,
in
that
that regard, she's functioning. But
yeah. That being
yeah,
said, I'm really happy that the series didn't just have it be like this oh wow moment and then they just ignored it. It's actually a big situation that's brought up. Like that's one of the reasons Mickey's there, of course. Like
yeah,
if the series had
she's
decided to just
basically us asks all these questions.
yeah, but like I think the series they could have been lazy and had this just been her character. Like she's just this crazy character.
Uh,
But no, they didn't go that route. Instead, they
Yeah.
actually brought
Thankfully.
up this character and then acknowledged the like serious situation this is and did interesting storytelling with it.
Mm.
Hmm.
And also, like I said, Yuki is the one character with the most character development of them all. She develops a lot throughout the series, and going into a bit of manga territory, but she actually ends up becoming sort of a leader, a character
Oh,
later on.
cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
And one thing I want to mention that it's not so much in the anime, but at least in the manga, it's very much implied that she's actually faking the entire mental illness in order to make the other two characters like feel better and being able to go through the harsh reality of the situation. Like
That's a
where
very interesting aspect that, again, where I didn't get through the anime, but
and the anime also
very
do it, but they do it a lot. It's a lot more subtle there.
yeah.
Like
I didn't
there's
get it at all.
yeah, like there's a scene where Miki is going through like in the library side with psychology books,
Hmm.
and then and where she can't really find like it doesn't seem like it's really making sense to her. But of course that could just be because she's a kid trying to make sense of it. And then there's one time where she's actually confronting Yuki about it, like saying like you're faking, aren't you? And
Oh, oh,
yeah,
that's cool.
and Yuki is kind of like she gives a non-answer, and then he just kind of moves along.
Oh, that's
Yeah, so you can
oh, that's
actually
cool.
interpret it in both ways. Both you can interpret it as saying that she's just mentally ill and that, or that she's just faking it in order to make the others survive, like to bring up morale.
Yeah, it's cool that you can get both stories and they are
Hmm.
both very interesting.
Yeah, I always said that uh, an art piece that speaks for itself is the best kind of art piece. Like this isn't a time where if the author were to come in and say, "Oh, it's actually this," that wouldn't make the story better.
Yeah,
Then it's better that it showed what it is, and then let the audience make their own
yeah.
conclusions.
Pick your own adventure.
Yes.
Cool. Oh,
uh,
that would make so much sense later on if she becomes a leader character. Oh, that's good. Oh,
I
that's so
highly
good.
recommend the manga. It goes into a
Yeah.
lot more details and continues the story. Yeah. Um, should we follow on?
Yep.
All
Do we
right.
have more to say, Anne?
Oh,
Anne? Has the bird eaten you?
No, I
do you
wish.
have any more comments, Anne?
No, I said no like 5 times.
Ah, okay,
I think
sorry.
it's Discord that's messing with us, but
Yeah, probably.
no. Anyway, use of psychological horror, and this one is mine. And I think this series does a fantastic job at using a psychological horror in order to freak you out throughout the entire show. And what I think it does really well is it's a very gradual thing that the entire show becomes and the situation becomes gradually more like dire and severe. Not just in us discovering that they're in actually a zombie apocalypse, but in the fact that the characters get more and more pressured uh, and they're all left in a situation where no matter what you do, there's no good answer. Like in this one with the picture, where Kurumi gets bitten, and this is a time where Yuri has to decide what is she going to do. Like, should she kill her best friend or yeah? And she gets torn up over it. Also, the earlier scene I mentioned with Miki and her friend Kai, where they're just trapped alone for so long without having anything to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just really good use of psychological horror.
It is.
Hmm. Hmm.
Did you guys say something?
Nah, I'm just thinking about again. It's of course they're all young because it speaks to the audience more.
Mm.
But I'm just thinking about how if it actually intensifies the seriousness of the situation they are in, because all of these, again, many of the things they experience in life is the first time for them anyway.
Mm.
So situations of this extreme from their point of view is actually very more hard hitting. Understand me right, that they are more hard hitting than if it would be an adult
Like they're more
experience.
vulnerable. I mean,
Yeah, they're more vulnerable. Yeah, that's the word I was
yeah.
searching for.
Yeah, one of the cruxes of the series is that all of the adults are dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we only have these teenagers trying to survive.
It's kind of like that new Netflix show.
Uh,
Did you watch it?
which one?
The
What,
Korean
you
one.
just said the new Netflix show.
Oh, you mean All of Us Are Dead or something? The
Yeah, I
zombie
think
one?
that's yeah.
I
It
haven't
really
watched
would
it. I
like
heard
to
good
give it
things
a
about it, but I haven't watched it.
Oh, okay. Please
I
watch it.
don't. I don't watch a lot of zombie horror. I admit.
Oh, this one is good. I promise.
I'll take your word for it. Generally, I've heard good things about Korean shows lately. So, yeah.
Yeah, Korean Renaissance.
Hmm.
Is that a
But
thing?
I mean, there's like Twilight Renaissance and stuff. So I'm
Ah,
just kidding.
all right, all right, all
It's like what people calls it when like a theme is having like a really great time on
oh,
social media. You know?
then it's not really. It's a renaissance with something that used to be popular, then gets popular again.
Yeah,
Like that's a renaissance.
like K-pop.
For example. But to talk.
Again, are
Yeah,
people?
K-pop used to be like really popular like
Yeah,
15
but
years ago.
is it up again? K-pop?
Yeah.
Oh, oh, I
I think it's going
I
a
did.
little down again. But I think it had like a resurgence a few years back.
Oh,
Yeah,
But
like I know, like 2 years back or something
something
like
like
that.
that. I do
But
remember that.
like,
It's
I
not
just
not that
remember
long
when I
ago. It
was,
just really like hit high in popularity, and then it started to go a little down again. So I think the is
yeah,
renaissance is kind of like it had a renaissance, but then it ended, or
yeah,
ending.
yeah.
Yeah, something like that comes and goes.
Mm.
Hmm. But to talk about again the use of psychological horror, one thing I really enjoy about this series is that it doesn't do the old like zombie trope of it just being an action, destroy as many zombies as bloody and epic ways as possible. Like it's more about how the characters are reacting to this life situation that they're in, like less than it is the zombies themselves.
mm, yeah. It's
Hmm.
it fits very well with these characters are very vulnerable, so they can't just go out guns blazing American gun show.
Yeah, which I gotta
Into
say, like America, they're good at making action movies, but sometimes they can be too much. Action
Yeah.
movie is not best movie.
Oh,
Drama should always come before action,
mm,
which Americans don't seem to get. I'm sorry to say.
yeah.
The Japanese and Europeans are much better at making drama over action.
mm.
I just lost all of our Europe, like American viewers.
Ah,
Yeah,
It's okay.
it's fine. All right. You guys want to add anything else before we move on?
Nope.
All right.
uh,
Hmm? Glad you had
that
something.
nah. Just wanted to re-say that it just used psychological or well, but you always already said it, so
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, and talking about
Hey.
zombie apocalypse.
All right. Well,
Yeah,
it does at least as I I feel it doesn't bring anything new to the table from the zombie side. Again, this anime is all about the characters and how they are reacting. The only thing I think that's I think that's interesting is that there is a antivirus maybe stashed down in the basement.
yeah, the school basement.
Yeah,
Yeah,
weird as fuck.
and you said, Mads, that again, and that leads into the question. Well, does this school have a basement with the antivirus?
Yeah, like the school was
Where,
specifically made in order to be like a safe area for this like zombie virus.
yeah. So in that regard, it surprises me. But other than that, it's very much like, yeah, any other zombie apocalypse anime.
Yeah,
Our character is holding out in this location, um, trying to survive and live. So,
yeah, it's very much in terms of the zombie apocalypse trope. I would say it's pretty textbook, but
yeah.
and the zombies themselves aren't really given a lot of focus.
Mm,
Like we don't really know much about how they work, other than like they can only like they go by sound, and
mm,
they can get killed if you I don't know, hit them hard enough, and they send the virus by biting. And there's a quote actually by the guy who created the zombie apocalypse genre that I feel work really well for this series.
oh,
Yeah, George A. Romero. Zombies don't represent anything in my mind except a global change of some kind, and the stories are about how people respond or fail to respond to this. That's really all they represent to me, and that's basically this series.
yeah.
Yeah, like the zombie themselves as a monster isn't is actually one of the lesser like interesting movie monsters. If we're being honest, like it has no personality at all, and
It's just a mass of function.
yeah, it's like it's a big event, like a natural like
Disaster.
national disaster, and
Mm,
how the humans they react and cope with that disaster is what makes or break a zombie movie
mm,
or series in this case. And then I would say again, this series takes the idea, does some pretty interesting stuff with it.
mm.
And there's a again, we're going into some. There's a larger plot in the story itself where you find out something about who created the virus and all sorts of stuff that we see later on
Oh
in the.
shit! Did someone create the virus?
Yeah, it's a. I'm just gonna say I read the manga like monthly, and the plot got super complicated at one point. I couldn't follow
Oh,
along.
so it's almost like Resident Evil. It is a Resident Evil.
I guess.
Yeah, it's
No,
biological warfare.
Yeah, but
isn't
I
most
yeah.
things?
What?
What? And
It isn't like in a lot of zombie movies, isn't it always biological warfare?
Not
oh
always.
no, no.
Like
Sometimes there's
Walking Dead.
magic involved, but
Oh,
Yeah, and sometimes it's a
and sometimes there's no
natural.
explanation at all.
Yeah, and sometimes it's a natural disease again
Yeah,
because the human population got too big, so this disease came to wipe
yeah.
out humans.
You know, it reminds me of a
It's
different anime actually. The one you said with like too high population, like it's called Sunday Without God, where all of a sudden God speaks to the entire world. He says that heaven has become like too filled. There's no more room in heaven, so no one will die anymore. And
oh
then when people die, they become zombies.
ah
Yeah,
so
yeah. Just something that just reminded me of that.
yeah, sounds cool. So yeah, in oh okay, well again, now we know what kind of zombie apocalypse trope it is. It's the
Sci-fi
biological
kind.
warfare. What?
Sci-fi kind.
Yeah,
Science fiction
it's the
kind.
sci-fi kind. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, again,
Hey,
and it follows pretty much follows through on. Again, I have only seen until they get down to the basement.
Wait, you haven't
But
finished the anime?
what we watched the anime together, man.
Yeah, yeah. Don't you remember? It ends up with them like taking a car and then driving off.
going to the college.
They're going to the next location.
Yeah.
Huh?
They leave the school because it ends up getting like burnt down or something.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we finished it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just remember that they go down to the basement. But yeah, I remember that too.
All right, all
But
right. I was scared for a second there.
no, we finished it.
Yeah, I remember specifically having you watched, and I didn't tell you like what was up.
But
I
yeah,
remember that.
but yeah. Again, so what was I going to say? Damn. Okay. Yeah, but it's the sci-fi. It's the sci-fi virus
Explanation. Yeah.
explanation. It as of what I hear from you, it follows that pretty textbook.
Yeah, at one point I think it's actually mentioned in the manga that they're actually on a time limit that at some point if they don't do something then this virus will which is airborne will eventually get to them. So they have to do something in order to like stop that.
Damn.
If I remember correctly. Yeah, so like some point they meet some other characters and they're all fine, but then one of them starts turning out of nowhere and he blames the new people, of course, because they're new, and then stuff happens.
Oh, oh that sound.
Oh yeah, and
Now,
one
now
gets
the brain
another
of
character
it.
pregnant while he's turning into a zombie. It's wild. No rape, don't worry, no rape.
Ew.
What did you
Yeah.
say? I only heard like half of it.
Like they meet a new group at a new place, and one of them ends up getting infected with the virus. Then he makes another character pregnant while he's infected with the virus.
Uh,
Yeah,
Is the baby fucked?
well,
Probably.
pregnancies tend to take a lot of time, so we haven't seen the baby. It should
What?
be said that the girl that we end up seeing is actually the strongest character in the series, the one that gets pregnant. Like, she's hella hardcore. And she kills people with a screwdriver, it's really cool.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, she like stabs them.
Damn.
Hmm.
Now I want it to be animated.
Yeah, and,
Okay.
and one thing that's really cool, Kurumi, remember that how she gets like bitten, right? And they find an antidote for her,
Yeah.
right? It's actually she ends up. The antidote doesn't actually really work, so he ends up becoming an aware zombie at one point.
Oh shit!
Yeah, and she goes like back and forth, like becoming more zombie and less human.
Oh, jeez, it sounds like a.
It's
again,
really
it sounds
wild what happens later on in the manga.
It sounds like a Netflix series I watched. So yeah,
So yeah, they better make that goddamn second season.
again,
Think they will.
that's also a very interesting dilemma. Okay, now are you a zombie or are you still the
Like, and how
are you
much can
still
we
the
trust
first?
you? How much do you trust yourself?
Yeah,
Like,
again,
mm,
will you turn on us in a second or something? Will you kill us all in our sleep?
and this becomes
Yeah.
especially like a big problem when they meet the new group. Like, how can the
Mm,
new group now trust them? Of course,
mm.
yeah,
Well, that's cool.
yeah.
It follows all the biological sci-fi zombie apocalypse tropes to the textbook.
Yeah, it does. It's a textbook
Very
zombie
good.
apocalypse series.
It
Yeah,
is.
and the thing that's interesting is the characters.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
characters are the one driving the show.
Yeah.
Should we talk about that? How the heck does Kurumi know how to drive a car?
Oh,
Oh yeah.
from video games.
Yeah,
Said
she
that.
says that she's plays Mario Kart or something, but
No, but like there's those video games. I think it was for PlayStation 2 where you have
Oh
like
wait. Yeah, I had one
skier
of those
and
when I was a kid, but
yeah.
I don't know. It's a bit of a stretch to me, but like, it's cool.
But it's a
I can
video game where
understand.
you learn to how to drive a car.
I
So
guess.
I
Did
mean, it
you
makes
you
sense.
drive a car now, Mess?
Well, no, I never used it. I hated driving games when I was a kid.
Oh, oh man. Okay.
I know I broke my father's heart.
Oh.
Hmm.
All right. Well, I
Yeah,
any more to say about this? It's yeah,
we all
it's a
agree that it's
texture.
cool.
Yay!
All right.
Here.
Would we survive the zombie apocalypse? Um, okay, for a long time, I had actually like assured myself that it would be impossible for me to survive a zombie apocalypse because at one point I would run out of like pills for my epilepsy, but that's
I
no
told
actually
you that.
yeah that's no longer an issue. So now I have to
Oh,
actually
shit.
have to think about like what if, and that stresses me out. That now that I actually have a chance of survival.
Oh
That's
damn.
stressful, man.
It's almost easier just to say, well, I don't have a chance.
Yeah, that was
I
so
can't.
easy. Like, oh well, I wouldn't survive. That's easy. But no, I might actually if I was smart about it.
No.
Yeah.
Well, am I the only one thinking about this every time I walk through the streets in the city? That if someone was running after me, how should I run through the city to get away from them the fastest? Yeah, I'm the only one. Fuck me.
No,
Okay.
no, I do
Oh,
think about
I
that.
also
oh,
think
you think about
I
that shit
do also
too?
think about that.
Okay.
Yes.
Like occasionally, if I'm like walking somewhere and I see someone else, my brain goes like, okay, if they try to attack me, how the fuck do I take them
Oh,
down? You know, I'm like, okay, they have a limp, so I go after this knee and
oh damn,
kind of
you go the
think it
aggressive
through.
type. I'd never think about how should I fight them. I just think, okay, I can run around this corner, and I know there's a hinge there. I can jump over that, and
No,
if I
I
turn
can't
around
run.
this corner,
I,
I'm gone.
I'm like not a runner. I can only fight.
You're a
So
fighter.
That just
Well, we
sounds
know
more
I can
how.
only
hardcore
defend
than
Mads,
a
we
runner.
myself.
I'm a
now know
fighter.
who we should give a shovel.
You should always just walk around with a shovel, like that guy in Tackling Kniebe, who walked around with
Oh god.
like a steel wrench or whatever it is. A
Yeah.
pipe, steel pipe.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was like a pipe.
You
Yeah.
never know when you need a pipe.
Yeah.
I actually when I was it, I think the best translation would be university. Again,
High
I studied
school,
as a
maybe.
teacher school,
Yeah.
but yeah, at that place, I always thought because it's the buildings are enormous. You can walk around and around. It's very big. I always thought about this would be this would be a very good place to actually bunker down because there are many what is it called, entrances and
Corridors.
outlets from the yeah
Mm.
from the building, and you can walk between the buildings without going to street level. So I always thought about if a zombie apocalypse happened, I could bunker down here and make some of the rooms in the top floor my station.
Well, I'm happy that you have it
So
all figured out, my friend. I'll just follow
yeah,
along.
I
It's
have it all.
good.
No, I would never. I would go back to my parents' home on the islands.
But you would just leave me here?
You could join me. Bring your family. We could live a happy life on Samsung.
I'll
Oh
take the
fuck no.
zombies.
Eating potato,
Oh god.
eating potatoes day in and day out. It's
You know
the
you can
only
die
thing that
from
can
that.
grow.
You know, is this one of the series where zombies can walk underwater because they don't need to breathe? Then they'll get it eventually.
Oh
Well,
yeah, if that happened, we would be fucked.
Yeah.
That's the only way reason I would go there is if zombies couldn't swim.
Well, then
have
would
you
you?
Go
Then
guys
everyone
tried
in
underwater.
Great
to?
Britain would just survive. Like, would you really want that kind of future?
Don't know. I think the future of just eating potatoes day in and day out is a more grim one. So yeah. What
Hmm.
were you saying, Anne?
Have you guys read the book Zombie Survival Guide?
I know about it. I've never read it.
It's such a
Never read
good
it.
book. It's a guy who wrote the World War Z.
Oh,
World War
that
Z.
yeah, that
Uh,
it got a movie
Uh,
not so long ago,
yeah, but the movie isn't like the book at all, I
and I
think.
heard the movie actually wasn't that good. But anyway,
yeah, it
Yeah,
isn't. It isn't that
it's
good.
not. But the book is totally different. But he made a book about how to survive in case of zombies, and it's so incredible good. Like it's so spot on with everything. He really thought about every little thing, like all the details. It's so fucking
I'm
cool.
I'm just going off of Zombieland's guides. Just once watch Zombieland one time, and you
Oh
have
my,
all the information you need to know.
well, I'm going
Zombieland is
by
so good.
Zombieland Saga ideas. So
Ah,
I love Zombieland.
yeah, Zombieland is a good movie. I haven't
it's a
Really,
watched
fine movie. I watched it a long time
there's the
ago. I
second
enjoyed
movie. I
it.
haven't watched the second.
do
I'm a
it.
bit
It's good.
afraid of watching it because it it could just ruin the whole experience if it's not good.
No, it is fine. It's
Is it good?
perfectly fine. It's okay.
Oh,
It's not as
great.
good as the first one, of course, but it's
Yeah,
good. I had a good time watching it, so it was fine.
good.
And
Good to
like one
hear.
of my friends, she didn't watch the first one, but she watched the second one with me,
Oh,
and she liked it too. So I
oh,
think it's good.
nice.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
are we done?
I think I would survive a zombie apocalypse. I have
Well,
everything thought out. I have escape plans. I have I have a place to bunker down. I actually have two places to bunker down. So yeah, I got everything figured out.
hmm.
But you live in the middle of a big city, though.
If that's the
So
that's
Well,
that's the
this is
good thing.
no, that's
there's
the
gonna be
bad
a
So many
place
lot of
places
because
to
that
zombies.
go
means there would
raid.
be a lot of people there
There'll
who
be
would.
so many zombies. Oh my
Not to
god.
mention, that's the place where people would fight for you, like fight you over supplies. Like all the good stuff, like,
Yeah,
good places,
but
people would come
I
with
don't think
guns
I
and
would
shoot
be
you.
a very good farmer. I I just I don't think I would be a very good farmer. I just think it's easier just to live out of
And
canned beans,
Hmm.
yeah.
canned food. Okay, that's a grim ending too.
Yeah. Like even if we were to survive, I don't think it would be a good life. It would just be survival. Like if we're being honest. But yeah,
All right. Would you survive, Mess?
probably not.
Just join my raid team, man.
Your raid team. Oh, that'll go
My
well.
raid team. We could have something. We could call ourselves something awesome like Anime Masters of the Apocalypse or something.
What a stupid name! Like, why would you ever come up with something like that?
Ah. Would you survive, Anne? I know you would be a fighter, at least.
Hmm.
I mean, I
What
think
would
I would
your weapon
survive
of
for a
choice be?
while. I think I would just I think I would set the birds free because I don't have like unlimited amount of food for them. So good luck to them, you know. And I think my snake, I would also just put him outside and say good luck, have fun, you know. Hope you survive. Uh, and I think I would just read a lot of books. Like just sit at home, eat what food I have, read books, draw, do the stuff I never have time to do, you know. I'll just make the best of it. And really cross my fingers at my birth and make survive outside.
But
Like that
how
would be so
would
fucking
you?
sad if they didn't.
What would be your weapon of choice? Now we know you're a fighter,
A
but
weapon,
what will? Yeah,
I think
if you couldn't
think like
choose a
a
gun,
big piece of metal, like a really
a big
big
piece of metal.
hard piece of metal, like not kind of like a pipe, but more like
If you could only, if you should go out right now and get some food, what is the most lethal thing you have?
oh, I would get something salty because you need the salt. Like I would get like
What?
pickles or something,
J-
and I would
just
get a
throwing
lot.
pickles at zombies or something?
Oh, didn't you say food? What food I would
No,
choose?
no, most lethal thing in your
No,
apartment.
I thought you ask about food. Okay. Okay,
Just throwing
what I
pickles at
have
the
in,
zombie?
okay, let
Yes.
me just look around. I think I have something. Oh, man.
I can see my what's it called, vacuum machine. Is it that the
Vacuum cleaner?
right? Well, vacuum cleaner. Yeah. Uh, Actually, if I took the neck off of that and took the
Yeah, you
head
could
off of
use
that,
it.
yeah, it could be a great. Yeah, it could.
I think I
It's
might choose a
basically
hammer. Like a good
hammer. Do you
hammer,
have a
like
hammer
the
in your apartment?
I have so many tools. Oh my god. I would
What
choose the
the
best
fuck?
hammer I have. And I would just like use this spiky end because I know it could go through your head. Like for real, it really can. I'll just like smash it into every zombie's fucking head. I think it would work, yeah.
You're just ready. I would just fucking smash some zombies head in.
I mean it would work, so yeah.
Hmm. Well, you can join him. What team are you on, Mess? Are you team Anne or are you team Vlad?
It
Who
seems
would you
like Team
join?
Ant would be kind of boring after a while.
With all
Just
the books and
yeah,
the
just sitting
painting
down
and
and reading. I think I would get bored after a
what
little
else would
while.
you do? Like it's a zombie apocalypse. You don't have
You have to at
internet.
least
You
go
don't
out and
have
kill a few
electricity.
zombies. Like it's zombie
Raid
apocalypse.
all
When
day.
else would you ever get the chance?
I'd probably just start fishing or something and like have fun, you know? Like there's a lot of things you can do in a zombie apocalypse.
Well, that depends on the nature of the apocalypse, but
Oh, I
yeah.
know what I will do. Oh my God. I will go to a farm and just settle down and have fun having horses because I can't afford horses, but I love horses. Oh my God. I will get so many horses. I'll just collect them from every farm and like have a little thing going on. Oh my God.
Your dreams are so wholesome. I just want to go into IKEA or something or just fuck around.
Oh
Oh,
god,
actually,
jeez.
IKEA would not be a bad place
No,
either.
it wouldn't. It has a
Be a
lot of stuff.
pretty good place to settle down.
Yeah.
Lots of
Like you
hiding
will get a lot of
areas.
cars to take. Like there's so many cars you could have to drive around. You
What?
know, like lot of
Cars?
gas. Yeah, you have
IKEA?
IKEA. They have a parking lot, like a big one.
Oh, that would be so many cars. You're right.
Yeah,
Oh, and you could
and there's
you could
trailers,
probably
so you
just
can
kill one
transport
zombie and
things.
get a car.
Yeah,
Oh, it's like winning the lottery every day because you get a new car to go ride around in.
yeah,
And some days they are just boring, and some other days you get something cool like a Lamborghini
exactly.
or something. Damn. Now it sounds fun to be a zombie in the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think it's as fun as you're making it out to be, but yeah.
Okay, I don't have anything more to say.
Well, apparently you guys had a lot of stuff to say to this. I wasn't expecting that. Damn.
Uh,
So, yeah, should we move on?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Let's move on.
All right. All right. Next time.
Oh yeah.
So, I think for the next time we will do something a little different.
Okay.
Yeah, what we've done so far is that we've each chosen like a subject and then we've talked about it. But I think what we should do now is that uh, me and Vlad have talked and we picked an anime that we know that none of us have seen, but that looks interesting and a lot of people have talked about, called Ranking of Kings. And I'm thinking that what we do is that all three of us we watch the first 11 episodes and then we like make two subjects to that and then we'll talk about it. And then the reason for that is different is because then it's an anime that none of us have seen.
Mm.
And also
It
we will have not like the amount of knowledge that we have about it will be like equal.
will be the same. It's actually, it's yeah.
Yeah.
And the reasoning behind the 11 episodes,
It's
it's
because
because
I
it's
searched
not right?
online about like ranking of kings like arcs, and then a person on Reddit basically set it up with like
Mm.
there's like introduction arc is like 1 to 4, and then there's like a training arc or something. And then yeah, I felt
Of
like
what I have
11 sounded right based on that. Anyway,
what I've seen from scenes online scattered around in videos, the art style in this anime is it's so cute.
it's definitely
So
different It's not that much.
Yeah.
And
So
I'll of course
I
I'll
will
provide a
learn.
link and some more details
Please.
in the group later
Yes.
to make
Cool.
sure everyone knows where to go and what to do.
Yes, please.
Yes, and
Yes,
since
please.
we have to actually
Right.
watch 11 episodes of this, if people need more time to go through it all, just say so.
How long is the episodes? Is it like
20
half an
minutes.
hour? Oh,
It's
that's
20
cool.
minutes, 22 minutes, something like
That's
that.
great.
Standard.
Yeah, it
Standard.
shouldn't be that hard. It's just, and again, 11 episodes, not 12, 11.
Yeah.
Cool. It's like a normal anime season actually.
Basically.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Well,
So
are we still filming?
I think so.
we haven't said goodbye yet.
Yeah,
So
we should say goodbye.
So thanks for watching, you people who are tuning in, and thanks for listening. And remember to like and subscribe, and also to comment. And yes, this has been Anime Masters of the Apocalypse Anime Talks, and we will see you again next time. Bye bye.
Bye bye.